So for more details, we welcome to studio the international spokesperson for the Israeli police, Master Sergeant Dean Elsdunne. Dean, thank you so much for being here. I know it's a very busy time. Security stepped up in Jerusalem, an additional 3,000 police officers set to patrol on Thursday. It's supposed to be a celebration. It's supposed to be revelers coming out in their numbers. So what exactly are you preparing for right now?
Well, honestly, just like you said, we're preparing for celebrations. This is a festive time. It's something that's been going on for 56 years. The March of the Flags, the flag parade, it's been going on for over 30 years. And of recently, it's become an opportunity for organizations to try to make it into propaganda and incitement, calling for people to riot on the Temple Mount and things like this. But you can be rest assured, and all your viewers can be rest assured, that there's no change in status quo. There's no change in any of the procedures that have happened from the previous years, and we want everybody to have a great time.
The marches are set to go through the Muslim Quarter. It happens every single year, and yet there is always the rhetoric and the concern and the threats that have happened again this year. But making your lives even more difficult this time round is what's happening on social media and some level of incitement and fake news that is exacerbating a potentially tense situation already.
Yeah, just like you said, but it's not new. The terror organizations love to take advantage of youth and brainwash them into thinking that Al-Aqsa is being taken over or stormed, and that's not the case. You know, there's a status quo, there's rules, regulations, visiting hours. Nothing has changed. And so when organizations come out, if it's organizations like Hamas or Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, it's very easy for them to say that we're protecting Al-Aqsa. And the second that there's no visitors coming on the Mount, it's an easy win for them. But I'll tell you, nobody's coming on there to storm. You have visiting hours in the morning time, and everybody's more focused on the Jerusalem Day events. It's actually not just the flag parade. There's a lot of other events that are taking place on this day.
That said, National Security Minister Calev Ben David hasn't yet made it abundantly clear if he is or isn't going to be joining the march. If he were to do so, and it certainly is his right to do so, to celebrate along with the other revelers, but it certainly is seen by some and certain critics as a provocation. How does it change your role if he and other far-right leaders do join the march tomorrow?
It's very simple. You know, we welcome everybody to come. It doesn't matter if they're government ministers or if they're families, people from different backgrounds and religions. Just like we prepared for the Holy Fire ceremony, just like we prepared for the Ramadan, where actually in the Ramadan we saw over 1 million worshipers come to the Temple Mount. You know, we're preparing for this event accordingly. We want everybody to come and enjoy. It doesn't matter who they are.
There are reports that Palestinian leaders are calling for some kind of counter march as well. Can you confirm exactly, A, if it is happening, and if it is, where exactly would that unfold?
So I'll tell you, we at the police, we believe in everybody's right to freedom of expression, freedom of protest. It's a fundamental right. But there's a fine line between when it becomes provocation and incitement and when it's freedom to voice your opinion. So the second that it becomes violent and you start attacking other people or threatening other people, making them feel unsafe, that's when the police are going to get involved. And that's why there's over 3,000 police officers. They're spread out throughout the city, and they're there for the protection of everybody, but also to make people feel safe when they're walking around.
It's one thing to be dealing with potential scuffles on the ground, tensions may be boiling over between various people on the ground in Jerusalem, but 2 years ago, rockets were sent across from the Gaza Strip towards Jerusalem. There have been threats in recent days. How concerning is it? What are you hearing about the threats from certain terror groups that there is the potential for some kind of rocket fire? And I stress just the possibility and potential at this juncture.
Of course, like you said, you know, the Israel police, they're prepared for everything. We planned proactively when we detained the 15 people who we had information that they were planning to incite and cause a problem for the people who were coming to enjoy. We worked together with the IDF, with other security agencies to gather intelligence and to prepare for this event. There's no concrete intelligence right now that there's going to be rockets or anything like that, but we're prepared and the IDF is prepared. And we want everybody to come out and have a good time.
In this region, it's an alarming murder rate. 74 people have been murdered in the Arab community in Israel since the beginning of this year, including 8 women. The latest victims are a mother and daughter killed in the city of Lod. They are the wife and daughter of a known criminal. Police releasing a statement saying they will increase their presence in the city following the murders. Still with me in studio, international spokesperson for the Israeli police, Master Sergeant Dean Elsdunne. And Dean, these cases are just staggering. Another murder, in this case, a young mother, her 14-year-old daughter. The young girl's twin sister was wounded, and the investigation is ongoing. What more is known about this particular case in Lod?
I'll tell you, these crimes are senseless. It shouldn't be happening. The police are focusing on this. It's one of our top priorities. It's not dependent on the background of the person. We act accordingly to all the different backgrounds and all the different people. But when you see things like this, it makes you think, what's going on in the communities? Where are the community leaders? Why are they allowing these things to happen? From the police end, what we're doing is focusing proactively. We're taking guns off the street. We're gathering intelligence. We're making arrests. And afterwards, we're indicting them. We're building the case with as much evidence as possible. But in cases like this, our officers are so dedicated because it hurts us to see this, just as it hurts you and all your viewers.
When one looks at the numbers, 74 people in just the space of this year for one community. As you say, there's been some level of work or cooperation within the communities, but is it enough? What needs to be done to combat these illegal weapons that are clearly quite prolific in these parts of the region?
Flat out, it's not enough. The police is doing as much as possible. We're doing more. We're going to keep doing more. The community leaders that we built connections with and relationship with, they're telling us too. They're all hands on deck. But things like this start with education. Explains what's the problem with illegal guns, the problems with crime, things like this. We have to get it at the source. And that's going to be the best way to combat this together.
I understand that delving into the political world is difficult from your juncture, but that said, there is a new government in place. How has this helped protect citizens right now? There is a lot going on in the political world. Are citizens of this country, or citizens, safer at this juncture? Is it being prioritized for all citizens in this country to be safe at all times?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Whether it's the Arab communities where we're building new police stations, whether it's the mixed communities where we put specialized units, we've also in the reserve units of the border police have now built teams that are local and they understand this community better than anything, and they have people who speak the language so that they can reach out to the communities. We've learned a lot, and we're going to keep learning. Our top priority is civilian safety. It doesn't matter if it's at fun events or if it's during times of crisis. We're there for all citizens, no matter what.
Certainly is a worrying situation, and something urgently does need to be done. We so appreciate you being here in studio. International spokesperson for the Israeli police, Master Sergeant Dean Elsdunne. Thank you so much for your time.